My name is Ethan Parker. Raised in a tiny one-bedroom apartment with my mom, we were broke, but we survived. I worked part-time delivering groceries, dreaming of a better life. Everything changed the day Madison Rivera walked into my high school, the richest girl in the entire district. She wasn't like the others. She didn't act arrogant or cold. She had that soft smile, calm eyes, and a voice that felt warm even on the worst days. The first time she spoke to me, she said, "Hey, do you know where the science lab is?" I swear my heart stopped. A girl like her talking to a guy like me? Impossible. But it kept happening. Day after day, lunch together under the bleachers, late afternoon conversations, her laughing at my stupid jokes. I didn't understand why a rich girl was choosing someone from my world. But reality always hits. One afternoon, her father pulled up in a black SUV. He saw me standing next to her and his entire face twisted in disgust. He grabbed her arm and yelled at me in front of everyone, "Stay away from my daughter. You're not her kind." That sentence burned into my mind like fire. That night, Madison texted me from a secret number. "Don't listen to him. I'm not leaving you." We started meeting in hidden places, old parking lots, rooftops, quiet parks. Every moment felt magical and dangerous. Her world and mine were never supposed to mix. One evening, her older brother Logan found us together. He shoved me against the wall and said, "You're a nobody, dude. Madison deserves better." Madison yelled at him, defending me, but he dragged her away. I felt helpless, like the world was reminding me of my place. The next day, she didn't come to school. Her phone was off. By evening, I got a message. "Madison is being forced into an engagement tonight." Everything inside me froze. An engagement? At 18? To control her life? I ran out of my apartment with no plan, just desperation. All I knew was one thing. I had to get to her. I had to try. And as I reached the Rivera Mansion's gate, I had no idea the storm I was about to walk into. The guards outside the Rivera Mansion instantly blocked my path. I could hear shouting inside, Madison screaming, her parents arguing. My heart pounded like it would explode. I pushed through the guards. One of them punched me hard and I fell, tasting blood. But I stood up again and yelled, "I'm here for Madison." The front door suddenly burst open. Madison ran out, crying, makeup ruined, shaking. She saw me on the ground and screamed, "Ethan!" She tried to reach me, but her father, Mr. Rivera, grabbed her arm. He shouted, "She's getting engaged today. You need to disappear." Madison shouted back, "I don't want that. I love him." Those words, they froze everyone, even the guards. Her father slapped her. Something inside me snapped. I stood up and said, "You don't own her. She's not a trophy." Mr. Rivera glared at me. "Money decides everything. You can't give her the life she deserves." I answered, "Maybe not, but I can give her love and respect. Something your money can't buy." Madison broke free from Logan and ran to me. She grabbed my face and whispered, "Take me away, please." We ran through the driveway, past the security, across the street. Her family shouted behind us, but we didn't stop. Cars honked. People stared, but we just held each other's hands and ran. We reached the old bus station, the place where we first confessed our feelings. Both of us were shaking. She rested her head on my chest and asked, "Where do we go now?" I replied, "Anywhere, as long as it's with you." But life isn't a movie. Within hours, her parents filed a missing person report. Police tracked us to a cheap roadside motel. They dragged me outside like a criminal. Madison fought them, begged them to stop. At the police station, everything changed. Madison stood in front of her parents and said, "I choose him. I choose Ethan. You can't force me." Her mother cried. Her father looked broken, not out of love, but out of ego. After 2 days of chaos, Madison's mother came to me quietly and said, "You truly care for her. Take care of my daughter." Her father didn't bless us, but he didn't stop us either. Madison walked out of that mansion holding my hand. We had nothing, no money, no plan, and just love. But that day I felt like the richest man alive. Life after running away wasn't romantic or easy. Madison and I moved into a tiny studio apartment with a leaking sink, a noisy street outside, and walls thin enough to hear the neighbors argue every night. But every morning when I saw her sleeping next to me, I felt like I had everything I ever needed. I worked 2 jobs, grocery store in the morning, delivery boy at night. Madison found a part-time job at a small cafe. For the first time, she learned things she never had to learn before. how to take the bus, how to handle rude customers, how to stretch $20 for 3 days. Sometimes she laughed about it, but other nights I saw her sitting quietly, hugging her knees, pretending she was strong. One night she said softly, "Ethan, what if I'm dragging you down?" I held her hand and whispered, "You left your world for me. I'll build a new one for us." But things got tougher. Her parents froze her cards. Her old friends blocked her. People whispered behind her back, calling me a gold digger, calling her stupid. Some customers at the cafe made comments like, "Poor little princess fell from her throne." But Madison stayed. That became her superpower, and she never gave up. Months passed. Slowly, our lives changed. I enrolled in night classes for auto mechanics. Madison saved every spare dollar in a jar labeled, "Our Future." And then one day she surprised me with something incredible, an email from an art school offering her a small scholarship. "I applied secretly," she said. "I wanted to make you proud." "Madison, I already am," I told her. Then everything shifted again. One Saturday morning, someone knocked on our door. When I opened it, my heart stopped. It was Mr. Rivera. He wasn't angry. He wasn't yelling. He just looked tired and older. Madison froze behind me. He said quietly, "I didn't come to take her. I just want to know if my daughter is okay." Madison's eyes filled with tears. "Why now?" He sighed. "Because I finally realized money didn't protect you. It only pushed you away." Then he looked at me. "Ethan, if you love her, take care of her and allow me to be part of her life again." Madison broke down crying and hugged him. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't magical. But it was real, the first step toward healing. That night, Madison and I sat on the rooftop watching the city lights. "Do you regret loving me?" I asked. She smiled softly. "Ethan, loving you is the only decision that ever felt right." She held my hand and said, "Our story isn't about where we came from. It's about what we build next." And under that broken night sky, I finally believed it. We were no longer running. We were growing. Together. As the sun began to set, Alex stood alone near the quiet riverside of Chicago, watching the orange sky melt into the water. His journey in the USA had been full of struggle, hope, and unexpected friendships. But tonight, everything felt heavier. For the first time in months, he wasn't thinking about success. He was thinking about what truly mattered. Emily walked beside him slowly. She had been his guide, his support, and somewhere along the way, his heartbeat. She looked at him and said softly, "Tomorrow you leave, Alex. Are you ready?" Alex exhaled slowly. "I don't know," he whispered. "I came to the USA to build a future, but somewhere in the race I forgot to live." Emily smiled gently. "Then live tonight. One last time." They walked through the glowing streets, soft jazz music in the background, cool wind touching their faces, people laughing, cars passing, lights dancing across the buildings. It was America at its most beautiful. Alex stopped outside the place where he had worked his first job, washing dishes, fighting sleepless nights, dreaming silently. He touched the old brick wall and smiled. "This is where everything started," he said. Later they reached Navy Pier. The giant wheels sparkled like stars. Emily looked at him with eyes full of emotion. "You changed here," she said. "You became stronger." Alex looked back at her. "Because you believed in me." A moment of silence. A moment that felt bigger than the city around them. Emily's voice cracked a little. "So, will you come back?" Alex didn't reply immediately. He looked at the sky, letting the wind hit his face, letting his heart decide. Finally, he said, "Yes, not for the dream, but for you." A tear slid from Emily's eyes. She hugged him tightly, holding on as if time would stop. The world around them blurred, just two souls, one promise. As midnight arrived, Alex walked to the airport gate. Before entering, he turned one last time. Emily waved. Smiling through her tears, Alex whispered to himself, "This is not the end. This is just where the story pauses." And with that, he stepped forward, carrying memories, love, and the quiet strength that the USA had given him. The end.